Hello, everyone. If you're watching on replay, welcome. If you're live, I don't know if you can see me quite yet, but today I'm going to be bringing you a book haul. I have one that's quite overdue, and I decided to just do it live because editing, no one likes editing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started here. All right, so first off, I'm just going to go ahead and start with books that I have received from authors recently. So the first one is The HeartShaped Murders by Denise N. Wheatley, who, if you weren't aware, she just got some movie deals on a couple of her books from Thule Publishing. So congratulations, Denise. That's super exciting. So this one is attacked and left with a partial heart-shaped symbol carved into her chest, forensic investigator Lena Love finds her latest hunt has become personal. But leaving LA to return to her hometown comes with its own danger. Like Detective David Hudson, the love she left behind, and soon sparks fly, even as Lena is targeted and stalked, and bodies all marked with the killer's signature heart are discovered in David's jurisdiction. So, some serious intrigue there, and Denise definitely does intrigue really, really well. And another intrigue, and also a good friend of Denise, is Katie Richards. She writes really great books too, really great intrigues. They're really exciting. This one is Shielding Her Son, and it is sixth in the West Investigation series. Let's take a look. Fifth. Yeah, so it's fourth. It's the fourth in the West Investigation series. So Erica Powell has lived in hiding for years to protect her son from his wealthy, tyrannical grandfather. Wary of strangers, she's suspicious of James West, who's renting a neighboring cabin, despite the sizzling chemistry. But when attempts are made on Erica's life, James fears he may have endangered her, because the undercover PI's investigation of Erica may have led someone dangerous right to her. Ooh, so we've got some double deception going on there. That's always lots of fun. And with the line intrigue, you're going to get stuff like that. The next one I was super excited for this one. It's Claimed to Save His Crown by Pippa Roscoe. Sorry about the glare there. This is the third in the Royals of Spartia trilogy. And so excited for this one because this relationship with these two was teased in both book 1 and 2. Like you get a nice taste of it in book 1, but then Pippa's like, "Oh, but yeah, I'm gonna do the other sibling instead of our hero here." Let's see. Yeah, so it is Alex. Okay, so Alexander. So the king finally gets his book. Hey, Bianca. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Good to see you out and about on YouTube again. Hope everything's going well with you, and thanks for stopping by. Oh my gosh, I almost choked on my own spit there. That would have been embarrassing. All right, the next one is another presents. Oh, wait. I forgot to read the blurb on this one. Excuse me. Lady-in-waiting Henna would do anything for the royal family that gave her a home when her own wouldn't. So after Henna stops a marriage that would protect King Alexander's throne but ruins his life, she must face the icy king's fury. Alex's cold-hearted reputation isn't a secret. His tough exterior is designed to fiercely guard against the heartbreak that once tore his world apart. But then a transformational kiss with Henna awakens him to a surprising new possibility that could save his crown, and it starts with her. Oh, my goodness. Presents, aren't they great? They just have all the drama, and it's just wonderful. I know all is well here. Got busy for a bit and didn't read much. I'm getting back, though. Yeah, that does happen. I've actually taken a bit of an unplanned hiatus on reading and creating too. That's why I'm just going live here, because it's a lot well, less pressure than trying to edit and everything like that. Like I said earlier. So the next one I got was from Charlie James. This is Vision of Justice, part of the Vision series. This is from Evernight Publishing. And after artist Sasha Frost rescues the victim of an abduction, it places a target firmly on her back and Detective Gus Lambert in her life. The connection between Sasha and Gus is unexpected and intense. When a string of murders is linked to a tragedy from Sasha's past, it becomes obvious more than their hearts are at stake. Ooh, this one looks really serious here. So, yeah, thank you, Charlie, for sending me this one. I'm excited to get to that. I haven't dabbled in the more, I guess, what's dark for my taste there. I'm catching up from December to January. BookTube, oh, right, yes, the watch later, catching up on that. Well, good for you. I hope it's going well. All right, the next one I have, the Heartwarming. This one's from Anna J. Stewart. She actually recently sent me the whole collection of the Blackwells. Let's see, Blackwells of Eagle Spring, Wyoming Promise. Oh wait, this one might not be part of the. Yeah, it was the Blackwell Sister that was the giveaway that we did for the Categorically Romance podcast. I'm getting the low internet signal on my StreamYard, so I hope everyone can hear me here. Okay, so this must be a new release from Anna, so thank you. So I did have another one of her books plus a bunch of other Heartwarmings that were in the same, well, it's the same Blackwell family, but it's a spinoff, obviously. So, after a near fatal day on the job, firefighter Ryder Talbot's finally back in Eagle Springs and ready for a new start with his daughter. Seeing Corliss Blackwell again stirs up old feelings he tried to leave behind. Now that Corliss needs his help to close a deal on a loan that will save her Grand's ranch, can he finally prove that they're worth taking a chance on? Oh, I love second chance romances. I'll put a caveat in there if they're done right. I kind of take issue if second chance romances have a third act breakup because it feels like they didn't learn anything if they still have that moment there. But that's just me. I can hear your picture freezes for a second or two. Oh, okay, yeah. So as long as it's just the picture, well, thank you for filling me in on that, Bianca. All right. The next is from author Sasha Summers. This is her latest release. It's The Sweetest Thing. It has to do with beekeepers, bee farmers, and like rival bee farmers too. And it's like I just talked to Sasha a couple days ago, recorded for the podcast, and it just sounded like it was so much fun to write this book. Just with all the like research she had to do, she actually visited a honey farm and said, you guys will have to check out the episode when we release it in a couple of weeks. Good. For Tanny Hill, nothing is sweeter than honey from her farm, except maybe revenge on the man who broke her heart and humiliated her all those years ago. Dane the Viking Knudsen has been Tansy's rival since childhood, and though he's grown into a frustratingly handsome charmer, he's also standing between her and the Best Honey Award at the Honey Bee Festival, which Honey Hill Farms desperately needs to stay afloat. Fanning the sparks that have forever flown between them, the competition is on. Sure, Tansy and Dane have plenty in common, more than they'll admit, but Dane's plans to expand Viking honey are also on the line. When buried family secrets come to light, they'll have to decide whether taking a chance on each other is worth risking the happiness they've been longing for. Oh, so excited to get to this one. It sounds like such a lot of fun. Oh, yeah. I mean, all the knowledge, that writers have doing their research. It's crazy. And that's one of my favorite questions to ask authors is, what what was some research that you stumbled across that you weren't expecting for this book? Or one of my favorites is, what research rabbit hole did you find yourself down that you were not expecting at all? So you get some fun answers from those sometimes. Oh, and Denise, she loves to mention how the difference between her search history and a serial killer's search history is nothing. There's no difference between the search histories. The next one I have is also Sasha Summers, and this is her latest special edition release. It's The Rancher's Full House. So this one is, Bree read this one. I haven't read it yet, but Buzz Lafferty can't be hot for the teacher. The handsome veterinarian's no kids policy is to protect his heart, but Jenna Morris sends Buzz's pulse into overdrive. The beautiful teacher is raising her 4 younger siblings, and that's trouble. If only Jenna's fiery kisses didn't feel so darn right, and her precious siblings weren't so darn lovable. Maybe it's time for the Morris party of 5 to become a Lafferty party of 6. Oh, I love those like breaking down those insecurities and everything, and being with the people you love, just because that's what's meant to be. All right, now this one is quite a story here. So also Sasha Summers, this is for the love of Hades. This is a Hades and Persephone romance retelling. It was the first Hades and Persephone romance that I read, and I had no idea. Like, I had read it, enjoyed the heck out of it, but it had just kind of gone to the back of my brain. But before we interviewed Sasha, she had asked if there were any other books that she could send us, and I looked on her website and saw that she had wrote this one, and I like freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh. And so I typed her out this email, and it's like, dude, oh my gosh, I would just love it. And it just, kind of went a little gaga on her, but she sent me a copy of, I have a physical copy of it now, and it's signed, and it's so great. I love the way that she played around with the lore in this one. She mixed around the mythos of like Hades' lineage and things like that. And it's lots of fun. And of course, it's just the romance between Hades and Persephone. I know the historical connotations, but we're talking about reimaginings here, and it's just so lovely. Hey, Alicia, how's it going? Hope everything's going well with you. Honestly, if you wanted to jump in this live, just message me and I'll send you the link, and we can talk all these books together. If you feel like it, no pressure. Okay, so I think that is all the books I had that were from authors. And then the next 3, I actually, they're so great. It's, we all know that stupid criticism of romance if they all end the same, but like you have like the subgenres too that you could almost like, it's like, well, those really all end the same. But even in these subgenres of like Hades and Persephone, all the little differences that the authors can make, it's really cool to see what each one does with the story. All right, these next ones I actually just ordered from the Harlequin website. I made some Twitter posts about them, but I don't know if I talked about them in a video. This one is Baby Surprise for the Millionaire by Ruby Basu. This is a Harlequin romance. I don't know if I've actually read a pink romance yet, but so I have a few of them, but for some reason, most of the romances I have are the older ones that were before they were the pink color. So I've got some of them in this haul here, so I'll just show them then. All right, so Baby Surprise for the Millionaires. Hotel tycoon Nathan Haynes isn't just Sorry a Day's first love. He's her best friend's brother. So a reunion at his sister's engagement party is unavoidable, if only it didn't lead to another reunion with Nathan. Well, Sarah can't say no to the bride-to-be's offer of a Maltese getaway. Sharing a luxury villa with Nathan makes the unfinished business clear, and they're tempted into a fling. Will the consequences of their Mediterranean night help them realize they never stopped loving each other? Oh, I love a surprise baby too. And, it's hard to do it these days or do it well. And I guess with the proper care, we don't really like our characters just being sloppy and just going for it. But anyway, that's probably a whole nother conversation for later. This one, Alicia, yeah, I love the cover, and I think it's because the cover model looks like AOC, and so that's just me there. Oh, so what's a pink romance? So it's the line. So just as an example here, so we have the romance line, which is these ones. We have the presents line, which is what pretty much everyone would consider would think of when someone mentioned Harlequin. We have desire, which are these kind of yellowish ones, and then the special editions blue, and then the heartwarming is green, and the intrigues are purple, and the love inspired. I could go on. So this is the romance line. So this is the very first Harlequin line. So this is the one that started it all. It's the one that's still here. There's a lot of there's a lot of books. It's been running since 1949. I made a Twitter post about it a month or so ago. Yeah, it's pretty crazy to think about the history of Harlequin and everything. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, let me know if you read it before I do, and let me know if it's good. Mostly yellow, purple, and blue. Okay, yeah. So the it's interesting. Before I actually got into Harlequin, I would go into the used bookstore and be like, you know what, I'm gonna get a Harlequin today. I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna pick one, and I'll just see what it's about. And I'd go into the section, and there's just these shelves everywhere, and it's like some of them are red, some of them are white, some of them are blue, all the different colors. And my head would spin, and I'd walk away. I can't do it. I'm out. I'm gonna try later. Eventually, I did get there. All right, the next one I found, this was okay, so these are thrift store and library sale finds here. And do I have books I need to send you to? I guess we should probably exchange addresses at some point here so we can send each other stuff. All right, so I found A Desire by Joss Wood. I actually just recently featured a Joss Wood book on one of my vlogs. The book I featured was Homecoming Heartbreaker. This one is Taking the Boss to Bed. When producer Ryan Jackson kisses a beautiful stranger to save her from a lecherous investor, he doesn't know she's his newest employee, or that she's also his best friend's little sister, all grown up. Now, the only way to save his business deal is a scorching, hands-on, make-believe affair with the one woman who is absolutely off limits. So why is he thinking about seducing Jackie Brooks Lyon, then towing the corporate line? Well, sexual ruse becomes reality. Can fake it, save his business, and lead to love. Oh, I love a business. I'm saying I love like all tropes here, and you know what? It's true. But man, I can't help just like whoever writes blurbs is so good at it, and it just really makes me want to read all of these. Oh, I love these. So there's like these old. Come on, camera focus. Earn free rewards, like the rewards program's still on there, but sometimes you'll have like these contests and stuff on these old books. It's just kind of an interesting piece of history. Where is it? I have one here. Anyway, it was an intrigue that there was a contest that you could put your man on the cover of a Harlequin, where so it was like people would just send in a cover of their boyfriend or husband or whatever, and one of them would end up on a cover eventually. It'd be interesting to look into that and see who actually was the winner of that. I'm so sad. Local used bookstores went out of business, and they had a huge section of Harlequins. Huge. Oh, I know. You did. You didn't have Alicia there to help you scoop them all up. But but disappointment. I know, Bianca. My best friend was garage sailing last weekend, and he sends me this picture of several shoe boxes full of like old presents and a few others, and there was a blaze in there that I didn't have. And he's just like, I saw these and thought of you. And I'm like, did you buy them? He's like, no. Just anyway, there's just, it's just life. 50 cents each. That's how much they were at the garage sale too. It's fate. Oh, you know what? I talked about this one, but I didn't talk about the other two I bought on the Harlequin website. All right. So the other one, another one I bought is Bound by Her Rival's Baby by Maya Blake. And this one is like a hotel rivalry. Bree, my co-host of the Categorically Romance podcast, if I didn't make that clear, she's read it and she really loved it. Atu Quason is the rebel in the family that exudes power and influence. Unexpectedly pulled back into the Quason Empire, Atu must persuade Amelie Hayford, daughter of his father's fiercest rival, to sell her family's beach resort to the enemy. Why, wonders Amelie, does she feel such a wild attraction to the one man who is completely off limits? Surrendering to the intense heat raging between them was inevitable. What they didn't expect was the explosive consequences, and Amelie has to find the words to tell Atu she's pregnant with his heir. Ooh, that is just presents written all over it. This is one. What's my favorite trope? I want to say Only One Bed because it's just it just tickles. It just tickles something deep in me of like, they both know what's going to happen, or well, both, however many know what's going to happen, but they try and avoid it. They try and be overly polite. No, I'll sleep on the floor. No one's sleeping on the floor. But it's not so common anymore. That's okay. Another one, Rivals to Lovers, is good because I love angst. It's so hard to pick, Alicia. You know this. What's your favorite trope? I'll do the same to you. I will have to send you pictures of the section from when it was around. Oh, please do. Please do. That would be really cool. Enemies to Lovers. Yeah. So, Bianca, do you like Enemies to Lovers better in historical or contemporary? That I'm curious. We should buddy read some of these at some point. Absolutely. Of course, Alicia. Just let me know. All right, the next one that I had ordered from the Harlequin website is A Song of Secrets by J.C. Lee. This is a desire. I haven't read any J.C. Lee yet, but I am excited to get to it. Everyone that's read her is just raves about her. So, world-renowned cellist Angie Han is desperate to save her trio's chamber music society. So when she discovers that her ex Joshua Shin is the anonymous composer setting the classical music world on fire, she asks for his help. The sexy musician agrees to an uneasy truce to protect his secret success. But when their passion reignites, Angie's own secrets may be exposed. Will Joshua ever trust her again? And will what's keeping them apart ever lead them to happily ever after? So this is part of the Hana Trio novels. So I know this is book 2. I think it's like, I don't know what the first book is. It's like Attracting a Fake Fiance or something to that degree, but it must be, I think it's part of this series as well. But here he is. I'm just catching up comments. Friends to Lovers. Okay. Yeah. Childhood friends or does that matter? If I had to choose historical, however, yeah, because I think in the historical, you can actually have like enemies, like kill each other enemies, and that makes it, especially a fantasy historical. The Bridge Kingdom, it's Audible only, but man, that duology was so good. Such a great enemies to lovers story. Ugh. Okay, back to the thrift store and library sale. This is an interesting one. I think this is a cover. I think this might be a European cover or something, because this looks like a special edition, but it doesn't say special edition anywhere. It's part of the Montana Maverick series, which I'm pretty sure is the special edition line, but it's I Do by Pamela Toth. In the past, bubbly Lisbeth Stanton could often be found behind the bar at the Thunder Canyon Resort and on the arm of every eligible bachelor in town. But after a messy breakup with her fiancé, Lisbeth's looking for more than just romance. When Mitchell Cates offers her a job as his assistant, she jumps at the opportunity. Successful Mitchell is as steady and solid as they come, a far cry from the dashing men Lisbeth has been with. But still, waters run deep, and there's an attraction bubbling beneath the surface that makes days at the office anything but boring. Lisbeth's new career may already have led to a promotion in the CEO's heart. I thought it was going to get a little dirtier there at the end, but that's totally sweet though there. The Montana Mavericks, I think, is a really long-running series. It's like, I don't know if it's as long as the Texas Cattlemen's Club, but yeah. I'll take it anyway I can. You don't see it as much as you would think. Oh, the friends to lovers. Yeah. It's not the most popular trope that's in use. I've put myself on a no book buy until I read all my unread on my shelves. Self-inflicted torture, I can assure you. All because I did a full bookshelf dust last night. Oh man. I salute you, Bianca. That is admirable. Most of these books behind me here I have not read. So that would be crazy for me. It would be a long time before I could buy any new books. And honestly, these single titles up here, I own them mostly for the step backs. So not really not really anything I'm interested in reading, because a lot of them are like older. They're like not like old, but they're from that like point in the 80s, 90s where like toxic masculinity was just like really bad. And so it was before the readership of romance really like shifted like it has in the recent times, I guess, and we've gotten more readership that gets more vocal about gladly, happily. It's a good thing that the readership has got more vocal about more representation and more positive influences in romance and less on the toxic side. Now that that's, you know what, I'm just going to stop there. Let's go back to comments here. That's like romance is about marriages. Oh yeah, so like the so like it's they're already married, but they like find that spark again. I didn't get to it, but Penny Reed in her Knitting in the City series, it's like later in the series, but there is a married couple book in there, and it's like wacky too. I read the synopsis, and it's like she was a CIA spy and her husband doesn't know that, but like it comes out in the book, and through fun scenes and everything. I cannot. Yeah. Tell me about it. Open question: how often do you all dust your bookshelves? Because sheesh, it's hard work. Not often, and not as often as I should, especially with my dust allergy and everything. My display shelf up here gets dusted quite often, but that's just the one. I love the old silhouette romances. The guys on the cover look like David Hasselhoff. Yeah. Oh, where did I put it? Oh, it's over here. like this. I guess that's more Rob Lowe, but oh, these old Temptations, these illustrated Temptation covers are so great. They're just like, I wouldn't call them cheesy anymore just because they're so retro now. Like, oh, they're just fan freaking tastic. I agree. It's toxic masculinity so much. Absolutely. It ruins everything. The first book in the Bromance Book Club is A Second Chance to a Married Couple. Oh, cool. Cool. I read Christmas Data Breach, which was part of Katie Richards' West Investigation series. And that was a divorced couple with a reunited. So it's a kind of a way they can play that trope. Yes, I love it. The cover there, yeah. All right, what do I have? Okay, so now I found a medical. Finding medicals in the thrift stores and library sales is actually pretty rare because they don't release these in stores in the United States, I think. I don't know. But anyway, they don't get as much press as some of the other lines. But this is The Island Fling with the Surgeon by Anne McIntosh. I just recently read Christmas Miracle in Jamaica by her, and it was really good. I'm also going to talk to her in a couple days here for the Categorically Romance podcast. So super looking forward to that. When Dr. Genevieve Boussard convinces nurse Zach Lewin to enter a fake relationship to help keep her meddling mom off her back, she's confident there's no danger of it turning into anything more. Her first priority has to be her surgical career, and both Jen and Zach are still reeling from recent betrayals. But as the summer heat in the Caribbean loosens inhibitions, their fake affair is at risk of becoming all too real. Oh, tell me about how awesome fake relationships are. They just make for so much fun in romances, whether it be books or movies. It's so much fun to watch them fall in love before they know it, and when they finally realize it. Oh, all the lovely things. Excuse the orange tags on these. I haven't de-stickered everything. It's a big process with, I don't have any of that goof off stuff or whatever. So it's just like slowly trying to get it off without leaving any residue. Okay, this next one is a presents I found. This is The Bride He Stole for Christmas. This is by Caitlin Cruz. I'm going to talk to Caitlin here soon, and Caitlin is just prolific. She just has written the crap out of Harlequin Presents, and I think a few other lines too, but super excited to get to talk to her as well. It's really pretty cool that the podcast is kind of picking up steam, and like we talked to Michelle Hoff, we talked to Joanne Rock, like these pretty big names, and so it's feeling like we did it, yeah. Hey Vita, nice of you to stop by. Glad to have you here on this impromptu show on a Saturday. I had to pause it. You're on double speed until I can catch up. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm just happy you're here. Also love the old school Blaze. Yes, we are going to be doing a series of recordings for the podcast on the Blaze line. And we haven't quite figured it out. It's going to start out with just some chatty episodes, just Bree and I. And then we're going to have Amanda Sinelli, the Presents author. She's going to come on with us, and we're going to read some Blaze and talk about Blaze and all of that. And it'll be a lot of fun. All right, so The Bride He Stole for Christmas. Certain that she will never love again, Timony George has agreed to a convenient marriage if she can't recapture the hot, all-consuming chemistry she discovered with Crete Asker. She might as well have cold security. Crete tried to forget Timony, but the idea of another man possessing her is intolerable. With just 12 hours until she walks down the aisle, Crete steals her back, and now he has the night before Christmas to prove to her and himself that he won't break her heart all over again. Oh. So for presents, like kidnapping's a pretty common trope in there. And like it's not like it's like light kidnapping. Is that a thing? Like it's a gentle kidnapping. But it's so fun and like it within the safety of the pages of a romance book. It's just that level of like no, this isn't happening. And bonus points if someone gets thrown over the shoulder. Extra bonus points if the female main character throws the male main character over her shoulder. I got a few Harlequins I need to catch up on. Yes, we were tweeting a bit back and forth. It was on Reese Ryan's when I was talking about Reese Ryan's book. So yeah, Waking Up Mary was so fun. That was just laughing all the way through. That must have been so fun to write. Yay, Blaze. Perfect for Christmas in July. Yes, exactly. And you just remind me I need to finish the Princess He Must Marry. Who wrote that one? That sounds like a presents. All right, and so I got another presents here. I think I grabbed some presents by some authors that I either wasn't familiar with or I maybe haven't. I don't have any of their stuff yet. So this is Wearing the DeAngelis Ring by Kathy Williams. Hes Until Midnight was really good. Oh, good. Oh, Jada Sola James. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the follow-up to Redeemed by His New York Cinderella. I think that was it. So super excited to get to the follow-up of that one. And that reminds me, I need to reach out to Jada Sola to try and get her back on the podcast. We're thinking about doing an episode with some not debut authors, but like authors that only like they're only working on like their second or third Harlequin. I think it might be a cool episode to talk to them, see how the process is going, being, not a newbie, but still being sort of new to the process. All right. Wearing the DeAngelis Ring, tycoon Theo DeAngelis lives life by the rules only until a family debt forces him to propose the only merger he's never chased, matrimony. Beautiful, inexperienced Alexa Caldini may be nothing like his usual blonde bombshell type, but that doesn't mean their marriage bed must grow cold. Forced to marry the son of her father's rival, Alexa is determined to impose certain ground rules for their inconvenient arrangement. Absolutely no emotions and definitely no physical relationship. But wearing the DeAngelis ring is easier than facing the unexpected temptations of actually becoming Theo's wife. How long before Alexa's rules go up in smoke? I hope not very long at all. All right, let's change things up a bit here. Okay, I'm just grabbing from the stacks of presents. Okay, so this is a silhouette intimate moments. So this is what eventually became Harlequin Intrigue, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. So this is Trace Evidence by Carla Cassidy. Someone wanted her dead, but the only man who could keep proudly independent Tamara Greystone safe was brooding crime scene investigator Clay James, who insisted she do things his way if she wanted to see tomorrow. Terrified by a crazed stalker, the Native American teacher had no choice but to move in with her stubborn, sexy protector. but who would come to her heart's rescue? Because living with this man, touching him, kissing him was the last thing she needed and the very thing she wanted. Part of the Cherokee Corners series. I don't know, folks. This one seems like it might, might be a touch problematic. I don't know. I'll read this one and I'll get back to you on it. It was copyright 2003. I don't know. Well, we'll just have to see on that one. All right, let's see. Oh, Venus got more to say here. Compromised in a Scandalous Marriage by Lydia San Andres is on this month's TBR. It's a historical romance set in the Dominican Republic. Oh, yes. Yeah, I got an e-arc of that. Yeah, Lydia sent it to me. I haven't read it yet, but I need to because she's coming on the podcast too. I keep talking about all this podcast stuff. So yeah, that one looks good. Like the just compromised and historical and her. Super excited for that. Next one I picked up was an Intrigue, Cold Case True Crime by Denise N. Wheatley. I don't know if this one is in a series of hers. No, but apparently this was her first Intrigue because there wasn't anything else under her other Intrigues by Denise Wheatley. Samantha Vincent has turned her fascination with true crime into a popular blog. When an old friend asks her to investigate a murder the police couldn't solve, she begins to suspect that the cops want this case to go cold. Sam is confident she'll catch the killer when Detective Gregory Harris agrees to help her, but everything changes when she becomes a target. Okay, an unsolved mystery book. So this is part of a series here. Oh, Denise always putting out these great mysteries. So good. Okay, yeah, I was super glad to find that one. It's always awesome when I'm in the thrift store or at a library sale and see the books by these authors that I've sort of digitally rubbed elbows with. So lots of fun there. Okay, this is single. I have a few single title ones here that aren't Harlequins, so I'll talk about some of those. This one is The Vikan Who Loved Me by Julia Quinn. If you don't know what this one's about, Bridgerton, Netflix, all that. So I got this because it was 50 cents and I didn't have a copy of it, and so why not? I don't usually go for Debbie Macombers. At least buying them, I'll pick them up from the library. Hell yeah. But this was a hardcover of a Mrs. Miracle book, and so I just thought that was pretty cool. And so getting it for $2, gotta love getting a hardback for $2. So I don't know what. I hear people really like the Mrs. Miracle ones, but this Christmas, Emily Merkel, call her Mrs. Miracle, is working in the toy department at Finley's, the last family-owned department store in New York City, and her boss is none other than Jake Finley, the owner's son. For Jake, holiday memories of brightly wrapped gifts, decorated trees, and family were destroyed in a Christmas Eve tragedy years before. Now Christmas means just one thing to him, and to his father, profit, because they need a Christmas miracle to keep the business afloat. Holly Larson needs a miracle too. She wants to give her 8-year-old nephew, Gabe, the holiday he deserves. Holly's widowed brother is in the army and won't be home for Christmas, but at least she can get Gabe that toy robot from Finley's, the one gift he desperately wants, if she can figure out how to afford it. Fortunately, it's Mrs. Miracle to the rescue. Next to making children happy, she likes nothing better than helping others, and that includes doing a bit of matchmaking. This Christmas will be different for all of them. Oh, that's cool. So Mrs. Miracle is kind of a town matchmaker. That's town matchmaker, small town matchmaker is like, get out of here. That's so fun, especially if it's an older, like a matriarch or patriarch even. Yeah, lots of fun. And did you see? Yes, yeah, I was mentioning that earlier when I was talking about HeartShaped Murders. That Denise got movie deals for her books. That is just so cool. That, I mean, that's the dream come true, right? So we'll have to do like some watch parties and stuff for those when those come out. Seen the movie of that book? Oh, I'm not surprised that Debbie's books have been turned into movies. So yeah, there's a lot out there. There's a book world theory that Debbie is actually no longer writing, but someone has stepped into her shoes and is not quite at Debbie's level yet. That's just a theory. You decide. The books look like they are in good condition. Yeah, they pretty much are. They're some of them have some spine cracking and stuff, but for the most part they're in pretty good condition. I'm not too picky on paperback conditions. As you see, like almost all these books behind me are used paperbacks. But like if they're like falling apart, yeah. I haven't read any of the Debbie's books, but my mom reads them sometimes. Yeah, I'll usually just pick one up. Like I'll usually read one in December, and that's usually my Debbie fix for the year. They're sweet romances, so closed door. At least the ones I've read so far. All right, another presents I got here is The Rules of Engagement by Allie Blake. Allie's followed me on social media for a while, but I haven't read one of her books, so it's finally time that I have one on my shelf and that I get to it. For better, for worse, forever, the first look, the first touch, the first kiss. Is there anything better than the beginning of a new relationship? Not for Caitlin March, self-confessed relationship junkie. Now she's sworn off forever for good. 3 broken engagements make it clear that she and her fickle heart are not to be trusted. Enter Dax Bainbridge. The most delicious, handsome man she has ever met. He's a man with enough oomph to make her forget her vows of steer clear of romance, but luckily his rules of engagement are simple. There's no ring on offer. All he's interested in is one unbelievably hot fling. Oh, yeah. Oh, the matrimony takes everyone by surprise, doesn't it? All right, this one's another Intrigue. Oh, I got this one because it's by L. James. I've read one of her historicals, and I enjoyed it. So this is Hot Velocity. Highly skilled combat veteran and former rodeo star Rex Trainer likes to be in the thick of the action. So when he's loaned out to Homeland Security, he plans to bide his time until he can get back to the real war. He doesn't, however, plan on Sierra Daniels, a local daycare giver whose pretty smile hides a stubborn streak more daunting than Wyoming's Beartooth Mountains. When tragedy nearly strikes the kids in Sierra's care, Rex vows to expose the culprit. Rex hasn't failed on a mission yet, and protecting the desirable Miss Daniels is no exception. I always get like surprised at how serious intrigues are whenever I read them. I look at like one chapter in and like, oh yeah, this isn't all just sunshines and rainbows. Are you looking for the Bridgerton books? Not specifically. I have, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm definitely not reading longer romances right now. So the single titles really I haven't read one in a while. Oh yeah, it's interesting. Like Oregon, or the area I live in Oregon, is I guess a little more affluent, and so the thrift stores have just more stuff in comparison to like when I lived in the Midwest and stuff. All right. So, romantic suspense. So these ones are still mysteries, but like they're it's kind of comical sometimes. Like, oh yeah, the killer's hunting us, but let's just do it real quick because we're but so sometimes you need a little more heat in the with the along with the mystery. But sometimes though, I get a little too caught up in the mystery, and the lovey-dovey stuff starts, and I'm like, wait, no, get back to the mystery, solve the mystery. Real estate whiz Julian Taylor thinks heroes and haunted houses are bogus, but when a series of strange events leaves her in danger, stealth ops specialist Chance McCall is quick to the scene. Jillian can't resist the chemistry brewing between her and the sexy agent, but as she and Chance deconstruct her nightmares, someone becomes more desperate to keep those secrets from surfacing. Chance knows there's more going on at the derelict Victorian manor than just ghosts, just as he knows there's something about the blonde beauty he can't resist. If only he could help decipher the meaning of Jillian's tortured dreams and keep her safe in his arms forever. Ooh, bit of gothic horror in this one. That's pretty cool. The Synethia Williams put out Summoning Up Love recently, and there's a follow up. What was the name of it? Spirit of Love or something like that. But it's about paranormal investigating brothers, this trio of brothers that are paranormal investigators in this small town. And it's really awesome because like everyone in the town's like 100% behind them, and like it's like all four of them. Let's see. I have a few if you want them. I prefer intrigues to romantic suspense. I think I do too. I definitely have more intrigues than romantic suspense. The killer is always ready to close in on them, and they're having sex in the same house. Keep one ear out, right? Keep one leg in your pants. Summoning Up Love was so good. Oh, I know. I just love that meet cute where it's like, Grandma, these men are trying to fleece you, kick them out of your house. I'm like, oh, stop it. They're nice boys. Okay. Got another presents here. This is Commanded by the Sheik. I haven't picked up a Sheik book in a while. These were pretty popular for a bit there. This is by Kate Hewitt. To protect his throne, Sheikh Aziz al-Bakir needs someone trustworthy to temporarily impersonate his missing fiancée. So the legendary Lothario of Europe demands that his housekeeper, Olivia Ellis, fulfill the role. Olivia thought Kadar was the perfect place to hide, but the Sheik's command leaves her open to global scrutiny. Even that would be easier to bear than his intense silver gaze. As ruthless as his desert ancestry, Aziz crashes through her reluctance, and Olivia soon finds herself playing his queen in public and his lover in bed. Oh, the royal and the housekeeper. That's one I haven't seen in a while, but I love it. I love it. Oh, okay. So I found this Michelle Ferrarella special edition. This is The Late Bloomer's Road to Love. This is part of the Matchmaking Mamas series. So this started in the Love and Laughter line somewhere in the 90s, I think, the Matchmaking Mamas series. I read the first one for a Books Club episode. I can't remember which one, but eventually Marie took over the whole series. At first, it was written by multiple authors, but she's got like 22 books in on this or something. If anyone's got a line on Marie, send her our way. She's avoided us thus far, but that's all right. That's all right. Everyone deserves their privacy. When other girls her age were dating and finding love, Rachel Finelli was working with her father, keeping the family restaurant going after her father's heart attack. Now she's on the verge of starting the life she should have started years ago. Enter Wyatt Watson, the only physical therapist her stubborn dad will tolerate. But little does Rachel know that her dad has an ulterior matchmaking motive. Is Dreamy Wyatt really the perfect medicine for Rachel too? Oh, so matchmaking dad in this one. I like it though. I like it, like I was saying earlier. Oh, so I found occasionally, not so much anymore, but occasionally you'll still catch a blaze at a library sale or at a thrift store. So this is Coming On Strong by Tawny Weber. What is this? This is a receipt. Oh, okay. That was the receipt. It wasn't a goodie from a previous reader. By private invitation only. Event, very sensual resort opening. Place, in bed, hopefully. Host, hottie millionaire Mitch Carter. Planner, Bella Forsham, who once jilted Mitch at the altar. Oops. When Mitch's new hotel falters, he needs a pro. Enter the it girl of event planning, the treacherous, damnable sexy Belle. Time for some red-hot revenge, but Belle has her own secret agenda for her ex-fiancé, and in the meantime, she'll enjoy how Mitchell still makes her legs and every other body part deliciously quiver. But it's strictly business between them this time. At least it is, until Belle decides that the best sexual revenge goes both ways. Ooh, the jilted at the altar. We were talking about, someone and I were talking about this, that the jilted at the altar trope is almost always the male that's the one jilted. That it's a little, there's a theory that it's just kind of a little too rough to have the female main character. I don't know. Opinions? All right, another presents by a new to me author, Tycoon's Forbidden Cinderella by Melanie Milburn. Love is a weakness that billionaire Lucian Fox refuses to indulge in, but delectable Audrey Merrington tests his formidable control. With their families united by marriage, Audrey has always been utterly off limits, yet her shy innocence holds an enticing appeal for cynical Lucian. When a scandal forces them together, Lucian proposes a temporary solution to their inconvenient craving. Total delicious surrender. The old get it out of your system. That mistake has been made more than once. Never by the same people twice, though, because they find their happily ever after. Okay, another romantic suspense here. And bonus points because redhead on the cover. Deadly Sight by Cindy Dees. Ooh, the prolific Cindy Dees. My mom was watching a Hallmark movie recently where a man and woman who both got jilted at the altar of the scene ended up meeting again on a Hawaiian vacation. That sounds good. That sounds like a wonderful setup. I would never forgive someone for leaving on the wedding day, for sure. For sure. Like seriously, like if it's literally like at the altar, like holy cow. That's just terrible, and like the audacity. All right, Deadly Sight. Since Grayson Pierce's family was murdered, loyalty to Code X and a death wish is all that keeps him going. But now the hardened agent is facing his riskiest assignment yet. Sam, a distractingly sexy operative with super sensitive vision, will need Gray's nearness more than she's willing to admit. But will their combustible chemistry compromise their mission? It will take all of Grayson's training to stay focused as he and Sam uncover a dangerous high-tech conspiracy, because he can't risk the consequences of national security or the woman who's jump-started his will to live. Oh, so we've got a 2 secret agent romance here. So that's pretty cool. I read Alaskan Christmas Escape recently by Juno Rushton. That was like 2 I guess not. So the female main character was a CIA operative, and the male main character was a ex Navy SEAL. So two very combat capable people, and lots of adventure and shooting and stuff like that. I would still enjoy the reception and go in the honeymoon. Oh, absolutely. Eat the food, go on the trip. Still, yeah. you already paid for everything, right? Might as well still have a party, right? And it's weird. Like weddings, like are supposed to be like a party and like have fun and stuff, but it never actually feels like a party. I don't know if that's just me. I read Alaska Christmas Escape too. Awesome. Okay, so I have a couple other. Oh, okay. So I was talking about the romance line, the older romance line. So these are of the older romance lines. They're not the pinks. They looked more just kind of like regular books. And that's really the only reason I bought these ones is because they're the older romance line. And they're part of the same series, the Heart of Texas series. So Texas Two-Step and Lonesome Cowboy. So Texas Two-Step. Ellie Frazier needs her friends. She's still mourning her father, still learning to run the business he left her, Frazier's feed store, in Promise. She knows she can count on the people here for comfort and support, laughter and friendship, but now her long-standing relationship with one of those friends, rancher Glenn Patterson, seems to be changing, turning into something else. Love? ? Lonesome Cowboy. Everyone in Promise thinks Savannah Weston is an old-fashioned kind of woman, quietly content to stay on the family ranch with her brother Grady. But Savannah has her passions for the old roses she loves to grow, for the children she hopes to have, and for a man named Laredo Smith. He's a stranger to Promise, a disenchanted cowboy who just may change Savannah's life. The stranger comes to town and sweep you off your feet and steal your heart. Love it. I don't like weddings. I know I'm odd. It's it's weird. Like I don't know. No one's. You know what? No, I'm just gonna put my foot in my mouth if I go down that road. Hey, Dorito. One of my favorites. Yeah, she definitely she's definitely written a lot. I've only read a few of hers, but I was saying earlier, I usually, if I read one, it's around Christmas time in December. But speaking of Debbie, I got a couple others. So I got this one more because it's an American romance, and that's a line you don't see much in thrift stores. I know there's one like in a city like 50 minutes south of me. There's a thrift store down there that has so many of like all the lines. Like it is insane. Like I always go crazy when I go down. Okay, I actively try and avoid it because I'd probably spend way too much money. Okay, so this one is the Wyoming Kid. Rancher Lonnie Ellison has never known a woman like Joy Fuller. For one thing, she doesn't seem very interested in him, and as a former rodeo cowboy, Lonnie's not used to that. Women mobbed the Wyoming Kid during his rodeo days, and another thing, he and Joy, who's a school teacher and his sister Letty's best friend, seem to argue constantly. But it doesn't matter, does it? Because he's not interested in Joy either. Wait a minute, maybe he is. At least that's what Letty seems to think their arguments are all about. Yep, she might have a point there. Now he has to convince Joy that marriage to the Wyoming Kid will be as exciting as an 8-second bull ride and as sweet as the cookies she loves to bake. Aww, that sounds super sweet. Sibling's best friend. That is a trope that I don't gravitate towards too much. And I'm not sure why. There's nothing particularly off-putting to it for me. So I don't know. Any suggestions on siblings, best friend romances? Go ahead and let me know. All right, another Debbie Macomber. This one I got most of the cover. It's an old Silhouette special edition, and it's Navy Wife, and it's like, anyone else think this image is a little like juxtaposed? Like, I know he's like in his formal Navy uniform, which is pretty timeless, but you kind of think of like the 1940s when you see that. But she's like all like, I don't know, late 70s, 80s kind of dress there. Let's see. When did this one? 1988. Okay. Okay, so late 80s fashion. Yes. Oh, this was a whole series. Oh, that's awesome. Navy wife, Navy baby. Was it the same couple, or did they go to different couples for like the baby and stuff? I enjoy that sometimes too, like an ongoing romance series where it's the same couple. I think my favorite was the Cut and Run series by Abigail Rue and Madeline Urban, or at least it's by both of them for like the first few books. But Abigail Rue took it over at one point. It's two FBI agent partners. It's a male, but it's like a 9-book series or something with them, and they just like get up to shit like all through. It's so fun. Different couples could be standalones, but also follow a series. Oh, that's really cool. I'll have to keep my eye out for more Navy stories. Were they all by Debbie? Oh, and I mentioned Michelle Hoff earlier that we spoke to her, but I found a Nocturne by her. She wrote a lot of Nocturnes, but you don't see many of these in the thrift stores or library sales. So anytime you see that O on a Harlequin spine, you grab it. After the devil himself claims Ivan Drake's soul on his 21st birthday, a vampire phoenix has no choice but to enforce his wicked rule. But when the devil sends him to claim the book of all spells, the last thing Ivan expects is to square off with its gorgeous protector, the witch Desmerovich, or to be so attracted to her. To retrieve the book might end the escalating war between the witches and the vampires, but to take it from Des will ensure her death. With the fate of the paranormal world hanging in the balance, Ivan must choose wisely and quickly. This is part of the Bewitching the Dark series. Let's see what are some of the other titles in this series, if it has it in here. I don't know, can't tell. An officer and a gentleman's. Navy baby, remember it's Debbie Macomber, separate couple, find out they're expecting, still married, you know. Oh, we know. Now I'm gonna have in the Navy by the Village People stuck in my head. I don't know if I've actually, I don't know if I've listened to, I haven't done a deep dive into the Village People music. I just, YMCA. Everyone knows that one. Okay, I've got an Intrigue here. This is by B.J. Daniels. This is Rustled. So B.J. Daniels is one of the authors that even on a Harlequin release, their name is bigger than the title. So big deal, B.J. Daniels. At his remote mountain retreat, Dawson Chisholm's peace is shattered by rustlers. To his surprise, the one he captures turns out to be a woman, and not just any woman, but a beautiful firebrand named Jinx. Although she swears she's an undercover investigator, she has no proof, and Dawson has no other choice but to hold her close. Brittany Bowe Jinx Clark is determined to bring down the leader of the Ring. Dawson wants to retrieve the stolen cattle. To get what they both want, they'll have to work together. But spending their days and nights alone, just the two of them against a band of thieves, presents another problem. Resisting the irresistible Chrysum, I can't pronounce this last name here. Chrysum charm. And she's not sure she wants to. Oh, these cattle rustlers. Is that still a thing? I'm sure that's still a thing. That's got to be. Because there's, yeah. Anyway, if you have cattle rustlers in your area, let me know. Okay, another intrigue. This is Lawless by Helena K. Dimon. Some really glossy covers on these intrigues here. Undercover agent Joel Kidd wasn't picked just for his risk assessment and kidnap prevention skills. He has inside knowledge of the mission's target. Hope Aglier. Business had divided the former lovers, and now that same dirty business brought them back together. Touching down at his high-end, out-of-the-way campground, Joel had the perfect cover among these weekend warriors. In reality, he was there to provide an extra layer of protection. One Hope wouldn't accept if she knew the truth. But when an unknown assailant begins picking off her clients one by one, Joel is the only one who can save them. Though civilization and safety was still a long way off. Ooh, stuck on the rant. That's kind of like almost like a murder mystery theater kind of thing. Like everyone's stuck in the house, but this one it's the ranch. So like cowboy murder mystery. Okay. Oh, some more single titles here. This is Wrapped Up in You by Jill Chavez. So this is part of the Heartbreaker Bay series. It's a pretty popular series by her. I haven't read much of it. I grabbed this because it's a hardback. The only Jill Chavez I've read is Natural Blonde Instincts, which was a Harlequin flip side. So it's not really the best in representing what she can truly do as an author with, the constraints of the line and everything. This one, let's see. After a lifetime on the move, Ivy Snow is an expert in all things temporary, schools, friends, and way too many Mr. Wrongs. Now that she owns a successful taco truck in San Francisco and an apartment to call home, Ivy's reinvented life is on solid ground, and she's guarded against anything that can rock it, like the realities of a past she's worked hard to cover up. And especially Kel O'Donnell. Too hot not to set off alarms, he screams temporary. If only his whispers weren't so delightfully naughty and irresistible. Kel, an Idaho sheriff and ranch owner, is on vacay, but Ivy's a spicy reason to give his short-term plans a second thought. Best of all, she's a tonic for his untrusting heart, burned once and still in repair. But when Ivy's past intrudes on a peaceful romance, Kel fears that everything she's told him has been a perfect lie. Now, if only Ivy's willing to share, Kel will fight for a true love story. It's interesting. It almost sounds like there's like a crime element in it, but obviously it's like a Christmas book. 2 books I'm sending you are in that series for Nocturne Line. Oh, awesome. That's so cool, Alicia. That's great. I was super excited. Nocturne and BJ Daniels, you did the Mega Hall. Nocturne had a Rain Tree series of books that I still reread. Are they buried? Oh, they're kind of buried. These two, well, I have the second and third. I don't have Rain Tree Inferno yet. One of these days, I'm just going to order it from the Harlequin site, and just so I can have all 3 of them. I don't know if they still have physical copies of it though. I'll have to look. But yeah, are these? They must be good if you reread the series. Okay, and then I found Dark Witch by Nora Roberts and Blood Magic. It's books 1 and 3 in the Cousins O'Dwyer trilogy. It's about which Nora Roberts, which series. Those blurbs are really long. I'm just going to set those aside. If you need to know more about Nora Roberts, you can find a lot on Google about her. Yes. Well, wonderful. I'm glad I could provide that. Okay, then I have this True to You by Becky Wade. This is Bradford Sisters romance. When I was living in a small ass town in Missouri, the little local library had this book, and I checked it out several times, but I never got very far in it. So when I saw it at the library sale, I was like, okay, I'm just going to buy it for 50 cents, and I will have it on my shelf, and I'll finally read it one of these days. After a devastating heartbreak 3 years ago, Janelle, the name's kind of marked off here, and historical village owner Nora Bradford decided that burying her nose in her work and her books is far safer than romance in the here and now. Unlike Nora, former Navy SEAL John Lawson is a modern-day man, usually 100% focused on the present. However, when John, an adoptee, is diagnosed with an inherent condition, he's forced to dig into the secrets of his ancestry. John enlists Nora's help to uncover the identity of his birth mother, and as they work side by side, this pair of opposites begins to suspect that there just might be a perfect match. But can their hope for a future survive their wounds from the past? This is one of those chunkier paperbacks there. Yeah, so I think those were all the single titles I had there. So I've got another Intrigue here, another one of these glossy covers. This is Carrie's Protector by Rebecca York. Still smarting from a failed mission, bodyguard Wyatt Hawke is to escort photographer Carrie Mitchell to a meeting where she'll testify about a terrorist plot. Instead, a near-deadly ambush sends the two on the run from a fiery blast of bullets. Forced into close proximity with wealthy Carrie, Wyatt has little interest in her. Their differences couldn't be bigger, but somewhere between a compromised safe house and the discovery of a shocking conspiracy, the cool and distant bodyguard finds himself succumbing to Carrie's seductive allure. He'll even risk his life to save hers, because all he's left unguarded is his heart. Oh. All right, one more Intrigue here for now. This is By Order of the Prince by Carla Cassidy. Cowboy Prince? Okay, this is some, I feel like this is some genre blending here, but that's okay. I will allow it, though it's not up to me. An expert in interrogation, Prince Anton Canova has questioned some of the deadliest men in the world, but one beautiful businesswoman was challenging his legendary ability to ferret out the truth. Beth Taylor had secrets, and Anton wasn't about to let her off easy. After all, he'd caught her red-handed, uncovering evidence in an ongoing investigation, one that involved him directly. So why she refused to tell him what he needed to know was something he wouldn't put up with. No matter how she stirred his blood when she looked at him with eyes as big and green as the Wyoming countryside. It was time Anton utilized all the weapons in his arsenal, even if that meant spending long, sleepless nights together, getting answers. Oh, let's get those answers. Let's take all night to get those answers. Love a good floppy paperback. Yeah, you don't feel so bad, I guess, bending these ones, though. This one still has an intact spine, so I'm one of those weirdos that feels like they have to keep it intact. But speaking of, that's not going to have an issue with these ones. Silhouette in the... When was it? 2005? Okay, so the early 2000s put out a line of books that focused on badass female main characters, and it's called the Bombshell line. I only had 2 of these so far, but it is they are so cool. They're longer, and so you get a little more character story in them, but you just got these like just unapologetically cool female main characters. So, can one woman defeat an entire rebel troop? Watch and see. A Middle Eastern capital building has been captured by insurgents. The prime minister, his staff, and a group of visiting college students have become disposable hostages. But what the rebels don't know is that someone is still loose in the building. FBI legal attaché Selena Jones took the foreign post when her marriage hit the rocks. Now she's narrowly escaped becoming a hostage, but she's trapped. She has just hours to find out what the rebels are up to and outsmart their compelling leader. And her lone contact to the outside world is the one man she swore never to trust again. Okay, this is part of the Athena Force series, which I think... Yeah. Okay. So I had that Pursued by Catherine Mann here as part of that series as well. So that's cool. I got finishing completing collections of Bombshell here. So I've got a lot more Bombshells here. This one is Contact by Evelyn Vaughn. I think Breeze talked to Evelyn before. Sure. She was the police department's hidden weapon. Her anonymous tips to the New Orleans police had helped to crack some of their toughest cases, but the cops didn't know that this elusive contact worked in their own evidence department, or that Faith Calvert was psychic. Faith had no idea her gift was the result of genetic engineering and part of a twisted heritage her mother had kept from her, until a serial killer started hunting for psychics and chose Faith as his next target. To catch the killer, she'd have to reveal her identity to a skeptical detective whose faith in her could mean the difference between life and death. Oh, this is an Athena Force one too. Awesome. Yeah, so these had like supernatural elements, or like in this case, like kind of sci-fi elements in them too. So definitely some fun reads in those. Okay, next Bombshell I've got is Countdown by Ruth Wind. 10, 9, 8. Hotshot NSA codebreaker Kim Valenti had cracked a code revealing a terrorist plot to take over a major TV network. A takeover that Kim learned too late was only a diversion from a far more dangerous threat. 765. She had just minutes to thwart the real plot, a bomb at the major airport. Kidnapping a member of the FBI bomb squad to help her was a start. Kidnapping, yes. 432. Now it was up to Kim and one angry FBI agent to find the bomb, defuse it, and live to fight another day. Except, was this explosive just the tip of the iceberg? One. Just the tip. I think that Kim might get the whole thing. That's just me though. Okay, next one I've got is Payback by Harper Allen. Yeah, they're definitely a kick in the pants. Like, who was I talking to? I think it was Michelle Hoff, that she was saying that the line was kind of trying to embrace the energy that Buffy the Vampire Slayer was really taking off with at the time. So yeah, I guess you be the judge if Bombshell did it or not. I wasn't the biggest Buffy fan. I watched a few episodes, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not a Joss Whedon guy. Unbreakable, highly trained assassin Dawn O'Shaughnessy, I think that's how it's pronounced, was hard to kill, but the super healing powers she'd been born with had become almost a curse. Dawn had learned the horrifying truth behind her origin from the women of Athena Academy, and she'd vowed to help them destroy the scientist who'd made her the perfect killer. But there was a catch. The very genes that allowed Dawn to take a bullet and heal within minutes were self-destructing, and only her creator could stop the damage. Now Dawn had to choose between life and payback. Ooh, love a good revenge story. And that's some more of the. So I guess these Athena Force books are probably a pretty cool series if we've got like these supernatural powers and things like that in them. Okay, next one I've got is Deceived by Carla Cassidy. Another Athena Force book. Pretty exciting. I wonder how many of these I've got. Who can Lynn White trust when the man who raised her, her trusted godfather, might be lying to her face? How does she know? What's real when she's used her highly unusual skills to retrieve stolen valuables from places no one else could enter, under what she thought were government orders, only to learn that she's on the FBI's most wanted list? Will she dare choose to trust two strangers, one claiming to be her sister, the other hoping to be her lover, when the chilling stories they tell her mean the truth may be far more dangerous than any lie? Ooh. These sound pretty serious, these Athena Force ones. Another Athena Force. This one is Exposed by Catherine Garbera. I think Breeze talked with Catherine too. Would the truth set her free or get her killed? Hotshot reporter Tori Patton had proved time and again that she had what it took to succeed in the cutthroat world of TV news. But when her latest assignment, an exclusive interview with a Navy SEAL held hostage in Central America, uncovered a shocking conspiracy, the story of a lifetime suddenly turned into a run for her life. Forced to rely on rusty survival skills and a maddeningly uncooperative source, Tori raced to expose a scandal that could implicate everyone from the top levels of the White House to the very people she trusted most. Oh. Hey, Heather. Thanks for stopping by. Nice to have you here. Hope everything's going well with you. Okay, another Athena Force. We did pretty good here. This is Justice by Deborah Webb. A life taken, a shocking cover-up, and the truth was just out of reach. Her best friend's killer was dead, and so was Kayla Ryan's best lead to find her friend's missing child. But the determined police lieutenant didn't have it in her to give up. Now she would join forces with a secretive detective to find the people who'd sent the assassin and bring them to justice. Her life and all those she loved depended on exposing a chilling conspiracy, and she couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching her every move. Could the enemy be closer than Kayla had ever suspected? Uh-oh. It might be the person she's working with. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't read it. I always suspect the person that you should suspect the least. Let's see. Oh, another Cindy Deeds. This one's Target. Got a cover model. It's got a very Nicole Kidman vibe going on here. Is this another Athena Force on a roll? She's got 24 hours. Someone was trying to assassinate the President of the United States, and only Army Intelligence Captain Diana Lockwood had the ability to stop them. If she could convince the authorities she wasn't a crackpot. It didn't help that her intel came from a source so secret even she didn't know who it was. With only 24 hours to stop the attack, she had to figure out who was masterminding the plot and when they planned to strike. First, she had to get the charismatic young president on her side, and then she'd give the enemy a new target, herself. Oh, seducing the single president. I'm here for it. Okay, another Athena Force, Double Cross by Meredith Fletcher. Oh, it might have like siblings here. She's been falsely accused of being a traitor. An orphan with an unknown past, CIA operative Samantha St. John used her quick speed and sharp mind to make up for her small size. Ooh. Sam was about to go AWOL on a mission for vengeance, bringing down the legendary killer she believed was responsible for a dear friend's death. When she was determined and accused of betraying her country, Now, to clear her name and get back to business, the fearless agent had to face down an enemy who bore an uncanny resemblance to Sam herself. Ooh, separated twins ending up on different sides of enemy lines. I love it. Love it. This one is another Athena Force. This is Alias by Amy J. Fetzer. So that's pretty on the nose there. I think the Alias show was running about this time. Whatever happened to Darcy Steele? In school, she was everyone's best friend. But these days, Darcy Steele was a single mother living in the shadows following a marriage gone dangerously wrong. Not even her closest friends knew her whereabouts until one of those friends was murdered. Now, Darcy was back to find answers about her friend's death, even if it meant jeopardizing the cover she so carefully constructed and discovering that the one man she trusted might not be what he seemed, because risking her own life was a small price to pay when the lives of those she loved were at stake. Oh. Selfless heroes. I love it. Okay, those were all the bombshells that I got. It was funny. I was at that library sale and I was looking through what they had in their romance section. I was kind of disappointed in the things they had. Until and they had them stacked, so it was just the spine, and so I didn't quite catch the bombshell, but I eventually caught the silhouette logo, and I was like, oh, look at that, and I pulled it out and was like, excuse my pun there, I was like, oh, bombshells, and then like I found all of those ones, so it was really, really cool. Okay. There's a lot more, but this is the last of it, I swear. Oh, thank you, Heather. I hope I'm doing okay. I usually don't do so well at reading aloud on the spot, especially without practicing too. I had to I recorded with the Boobies and Newbies podcast with Kelly for the her Slick Summer Nights series that she does, where it's like a tournament of reading sex serps. So I had to read this steamy scene for the recording, and I was like practicing so much, and like even when we're recording, I was like, I've got to put a window over your guys' faces so I can't see you when I'm reading this. I still felt super nervous. So we'll see when the episode releases how shaky my voice is for that. Okay. Oh, silhouette romance. I don't know if I've seen many of these. This is Silhouette was acquired by Harlequin. So this must have just been their main line here. Oh, this is nice. Let's just put that right over the blurb. Goodness gracious. So this is Found His Family by Nicola Marsh. And forgive me. I'll just pass on the synopsis of that one. This is wild and hilarious. Well, I hope it's entertaining. Oh, hey, how's it going? Nice of you to stop by. Thanks for being here. All right. Another old Harlequin romance. Donna Allward. That name sounds big. I think she's pretty big. Well, the fact that her name is bigger than the title on a Harlequin means that she is really big. So The Rebel Rancher. Oh, I love that title. And this is part of A Cowboy for Every Mood season. What a mini series name. Unlocking the rebel's heart. With his break your heart smile, rodeo star and rebel Ty Diamond has a reputation that should have Clara Ferguson running scared, not straight into his arms. Ty knows he needs to take it easy with Clara. Her past has left her with a bruised heart, and she's determined never to rely on a man again. But Ty isn't all he seems, and his gentle side shakes Clara's resolute independence to its breaking point. These older Harlequin romances were super sweet. Like, they were just like all about the sweet. Have you ever seen any of the Harlequin movies? Possibly. Isn't there like a special streaming service or something for them? It's only if like the adaptation ended up on like Hulu or something like that that I'd maybe have seen it, or any of them. The series title is fantastic. Yes, I agree. I really need a close-up of your shelves. Those spines look mighty familiar. Oh well, I guess just tell me what color, and I'll move the camera over so you can get a closer look. Okay, so I found another American romance. This is the Secret Seduction, the Brides of Holly Springs series by Catherine Gillian Thacker. She's written a lot of Harlequins, but I haven't gotten to one of hers yet. Got a few of them on my shelf. Once upon a time, and after too many birthday margaritas, Holly Springs ice princess Lily Madison decides she's had enough of being a virginal Southern belle and bets her friends that she can seduce a visiting television celebrity. But now Lily wonders if she's going too far, especially since Fletcher Hart, the town's wickedly gorgeous veterinarian, keeps interfering with her plans. When Fletcher, who has a bit of a reputation himself, discovers Lily's outrageous gamble, he feels obligated to protect the innocent beauty until he finds himself caught in a scandalous wager of his own. Now the game is on, and both Lily and Fletcher are both determined to win. But how far are they willing to go in the name of love? Oh yes, we have to love a hero that takes it upon himself to force himself into the lives of the heroine to save her from a mistake that she doesn't know she's made. Anyway, in a romance novel, it's lovely. Passion Flicks, I think that's what it's called. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to subscribe to that at some point, because sometimes you just need that romantic feeling, but you don't want to read, and maybe you don't have an audiobook that you need for it. Maybe you just want to spend an hour and a half getting that romance fix. Another American romance, The Millionaire Next Door by Cara Lennox. That's interesting. These seem more like small towns. They seem like kind of like special edition vibe, which I guess there's millionaires in those. Sarah Tiana's Delicious Dilemma had a millionaire in it. It's just rarer in these small town ones, I guess. All the ones I saw were made for Up TV. Okay, I'll have to check out that app. I'm assuming it's a streaming app. Christmas with a Prince had drama. Okay, I will check that. I'll keep an eye out for that one. Gotta love those messy stories. All right. The millionaire meets his match. Forced to take a vacation, Boston's hottest bachelor and biggest workaholic traveled to sleepy Cottonwood, Texas. All Hudson Stark wanted was a little R&R, but then he met his all-too alluring neighbor, Amanda Galloway. Maybe it was the hot Texas sun that had him yearning to unpin this small town Rapunzel's hair and feel it slide through his fingers. While Amanda liked her life predictable, Hudson coaxed her out of her cautious world with mouth-watering kisses. But before he knew it, Amanda had stolen his heart and had him rethinking his bachelor ways. The only problem was she didn't know he was a famous surgeon. Would the big city doctor return to his lonely life, or could he convince Amanda to trust him and take the ultimate risk of believing in forever? Well, something tells me that this small town needs a surgeon, and I think I know just the person to fill the role. I think somewhere on Netflix. Okay. Yeah, I've watched a few. I mean, usually the Christmas ones, which I didn't have the best streak with on the last Christmas season. There was one, I can't remember the name of it, that I found enjoyable. And this is even like adjusting for the production value, I guess, of those movies, which it is fine. Like, there's only so much you can do. But yeah, only had one really good Christmas romance watch this last season. Okay, let's see here. We've got Hearts of Wyoming Special Edition. So this was when Special Edition was with Silhouette. Oh my gosh, my video's lagging here. I'm sorry, everyone. Hopefully it catches up here in a sec. I always think if I like slow down that the video is going to catch up. Yeah. Nah, that surgeon isn't going to that town. That doesn't sound right. Probably completely unrelated. It says yes, yes, not related at all. The one that Vivica Fox played, the Asian lead's mom, took me aback. That's a little odd. Okay. Was it any good though? All right, well, we'll see if my video catches back up. If not, I'll probably just call it and save the rest of these for another video. So let's see, I'll read the synopsis on this one. Call of the West by Mirna Temte? One of those. Hailing from Hollywood, Hope was young, rich, beautiful, and all wrong for hard as granite Wyoming rancher Jake. So how dare she claim the visiting, rough-hewn sunshine gap made her feel at home? How dare she flaunt her fashionista charms at him as if he were the only man for her? Hope made Jake mad enough to spit nails. Worse, she set his pulse jackrabbiting. Sure, her smile was pure as a mountain sunrise, her daring kisses sweet and wild honey. But what was Jake to do with a woman like Hope? Stampede her off or lasso her? Either way, Jake knew he was in for the ride of a lifetime. It was okay. All right. Got that book too. Awesome. Have you read it yet? Well, I will see if we get that answer from you, Alicia. But with the video being all wonky here, I think I might just call it here in a sec. But thank you, everyone, for joining me. I wasn't sure if this was going to get anyone in the comments at all, but I really appreciate all of you jumping on and chatting with me while I went through my very, very large book haul here that still isn't done. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. I love you all. You make this all worth it. And I hope you all enjoy your reading journeys and take care and have a good rest of your weekend.